Dear student, I am going to discuss the paper number 1 and the question number 1 of JEE Advanced 2015. In this question, we throw the body from a certain planet like this. Say this is a planet and we throw the body in upward direction. Say velocity v. And it's given in the question the body can attain the height where the acceleration due to gravity becomes g by 4. Then what will be the escape velocity of this body? So basically we know that with respect to height, the variation of g is given by g upon 1 plus h by r square. This is the expression of g with respect to height. This is the g at the surface. Now according to the question, this g becomes g by 4. So that this is the first equation. From this equation we can write 1 plus h by r is equal to 2 and the h is equal to r. So that body can reaches at the height h is equal to r. Now just we'll apply the conservation of energy at the ground and the topmost point between the 2 points. At the surface the energy is given by half mv square and the potential energy at this point, say the radius r and mass m and this is small m. Then potential energy is given by g m is small m upon r. When the body reaches at the maximum height, then velocity becomes 0. Only if the body have potential energy. So that we can write minus g capital M small m upon r plus h means r and this r. It means 2r. From this equation we can write half mv square is equal to g capital M small m upon 2r. So that v is given by under root gm by r. And we know that escape velocity is given by v escape is equal to root of 2 gm by r. It means we can write v escape is equal to root 2 times of v. So that from equation n is equal to 2. So that answer will be equal to n is equal to 2. Thank you. Dear student, I am going to discuss the question number 2 of paper number 1 of JEE Advanced 2015. In the given question, we have 2 conditions. This is the first condition, this is the second condition. In both cases, the disk is rolling without sliding. In this case, when the disk reaches at this point, then have velocity v, and at the bottom in the second case the speed remain v, and we have to calculate this velocity v2. The very simple question. In this case just we will apply the conservation of mechanical energy from initial and final position. Let's say consider this case. In this case the total energy at this point is given by half m v1 square bracket, because this is a disk, so that k square radius of gyration k square by r square will be half 1 plus 1 by 2. Here the potential energy is given by mg into h1, and at the final position we can write half m v square 1 plus 1 by 2. This is the equation number 1. Now for second case, just we will apply the conservation of energy. Is given by half m v1 square 1 plus 1 by 2 plus mg into h2 is equal to half m v square 1 plus 1 by 2. So equate these both equation. In this case this term is equal, so that just we can write half m v1 square 3 by 2 v1 square minus v2 square is equal to mg into h2 minus h1. So that from this equation we will get 3 by 4 v1 square minus v2 square is equal to g h2 minus h1 means h2 minus h1 minus 3. So that V2 square is equal to 49 and V2 is equal to 7 meter per second. So in this case, N will be equal to 7. Thank you.
Dear student, I am going to discuss question number 3 of paper 1 JEE Advanced 2015. What this question say? This question is basically on radiation. Actually it is asking ratio of lambda maximum of A and B. We have to use some basic formulas and some data already given by the examiner. Examiner has given radius ratio. Examiner has given power emitted by A as well as power emitted by B, the relationship between both power. Examiner is asking you lambda maximum ratio, but what is lambda maximum? That is the question. Whenever a black body radiates energy, there is an intensity versus lambda curve, and this curve go like this, and there is a peak of this curve, and then as increased lambda, intensity get decreased. Examiner is asking at what lambda? There is a lambda for this one, there is a lambda for this one. One is lambda A, another is lambda B. And examiner is asking you ratio of this lambda A upon lambda B. Examiner is asking basically this lambda maximum ratio for A and B. And how will you calculate this lambda maximum? There is a law known as Wien's displacement law. This is a law. This law says the lambda at which intensity peak 1 and the T is a temperature, B is the Wien's displacement constant. So lambda maximum is inversely proportional to temperature of the body. Now how will you calculate, how will you determine the relationship between temperature A and temperature B? This is also very important. To get this relationship, you have to use the Stephan law also. The Stephan law gives you power emitted by a body is given by Stephan constant into area of the body into temperature of the body in Kelvin. So let's start solving this question from the Stephan law. Power PA is equals to 10 to the power 4. PB is already given. We will use this one. Now sigma into area. Area of the spherical body A. The area is 4 pi r square. So 4 pi r square is equals to 10 to the power 4. Then PB is sigma into, you have to apply temperature T to the power 4 according to Stephan law. Then 4 pi RB square and TB to the power 4. From here you will able to get the relationship between TA and TB. You have to put RA is equals to 400 times of RB. So put TA to the power 4 into 400 RB to power square is equals to 10 to the power 4 into RB square into TB to the power 4. From here you can calculate TB upon TA. How? Let's see. RB square get cancelled down. This will be 16 into 10 to the power 4. If you see it's square, you will get this one. TA to the power 4 is equals to 10 to the power 4 and TB to the power 4. From here 10 to the power 4, 10 to the power 4 cancel down. TB upon TA to the power 4 is equals to 16. You can write 16 to the power 4. So if you write it to the power 4, you will get TB upon TA is 2. Now you have TB upon TA is equals to 2, but examiner is not asking you temperature ratio. Examiner is asking you lambda ratio. Now lambda A upon lambda B, as from the Wien's displacement law, lambda is inversely proportional to temperature. So lambda A upon lambda B will be TB upon TA. So it will be equals to 2. So this is your answer. Answer is 2. I am going to discuss question number 4, JEE Advanced Paper 1 2015. This question is based on radioactivity. This question says that we have a nuclear power plant in which we are using as a fuel a radioactive material, and this radioactive material is decaying with a half-life of capital T. Examiner is saying initially we have enough radioactive material which can produce enough power, more than enough power. The power that it actually produces is too much and the requirement is just 12.5% of the power. This is the question actually. Questions say that radioactive material, we have enough amount of radioactive material which can produce that much power. The requirement is just 12.5% of the power that actually it is producing. Now question is that after how much time or for how many years, for how many days this power plant can produce the power that can provide it to the village. See, it is very clear. If initially our requirement is just 12.5% of the power produced, it means initially the radioactive material that we have is N0 and it is larger the amount that we actually require. Required amount is, we can say, just 12.5% of N0. So after some years, after some time, this radioactive element will continuously decay and it decrease till it amount is 12.5% of N0. Power plant will able to produce that power. So how will you solve the question? See, in a radioactivity there is a law which says that radioactive element decay according to this way. There is another way to write this equation is N is equals to N0 by 2 to the power N, where N is number of half-life and lambda is decay constant. You can solve this question by this equation or by this equation. I am going to solve this question by this equation. I know that initially we have radioactive material is N0 and it can continue to provide power to villagers till N is equals to 12.5% of N0. So how will you solve? You will put N is equals to 12.5% of N0 which come 12.5 by 100 into N0. If you solve it, it will come N0 by 8. So put in that equation. In this equation you have to put N is equals to N0 by 8. So N0 by 8 is equals to N0 by 2 to the power N. N0 by 8 is N0 by 1 by 2 to the power 3. It will be 1 by 2 to the power N. So N is equals to 3. So we come to know how much number of half-life will pass till power plant can produce power. It is 3. Half-life is given capital T. So the time during which power plant can produce enough power that can supply to villagers is actually given by 3T. So answer is 3. Thank you. I am going to discuss question number 5 of paper 1 JEE Advanced 2015. This question is basically of YDSE. In this question we have given two sources. If you can see the figure, there are two sources S1 and S2, and one source you can see in the medium. If this medium is given, it is water, and here mu is already given to you. Mu is equals to 4 by 3. One source is in air. This is air. So one source is in medium, one source is in air, and two waves are coming, one from S1, one is S2, and they are reaching at the interface of air and this medium. Now they are reaching at each point, and every point is at different distance, that is x. Question is that this x is a position of maxima. X is a point where maxima will occur. Whenever two waves reach at one point, maxima will occur only at those points where path difference between two waves is equal to n lambda. Actually, we can say if a wave reach here and wave from this point reach here, then this is the wave which is going according to this path, and this is a wave whose way is this one. Now both travel some distance. As both travel some distance, both have their own path, and there is a difference in path which is known as path difference. If path difference is equals to n lambda, this is the condition for maxima. According to question, examiner is asking you position of maxima. It means we have to see which are those points where maxima will occur. So how will you solve this question? First of all, we have to calculate del x, and as a condition of maxima, we all know del x is equals to n lambda. So we will calculate del x and equate it to n lambda. Let us start calculating del x. Del x mean path of this one, and difference of these two paths. You can see both are traveling same path. If you calculate this distance, this distance will come x square plus d square, the famous Pythagoras theorem. This is t, this is x, this is root x square plus d square. You can say this distance is also equals to root x square plus d square, but you have to clear one thing here. This distance is traveled in medium and this distance travel in air, and according to wave optics, t distance traveled by wave in a medium is not equals to t distance travel in air. There is a concept of optical path, and what this concept say, t distance in medium of refractive index mu is equivalent to mu t distance in air. This is very important. You cannot say that t distance in air is equals to t distance in medium. No, you cannot say like this. Whenever a wave travels t distance in medium, if you are comparing the same distance in air, then the distance will be mu t distance. So this distance, you might think the distances are same, but this distance is in medium. So the optical path, which is mu t, will be mu times of root x square plus d square. So now let's calculate del x. For calculation of del x, we will see S2p minus S1p, but S2p is in medium, that's you have to remember. Root x square plus d square. You have to multiply it by mu. We have seen just little bit before, t distance in medium, u is equals to mu t distance in air. We are using this concept, and this is root x square plus d square. So it will come mu minus 1 root x square plus d square. So we have mu minus 1 root x square plus d square. What is mu? Mu is 4 by 3. If you put mu is equal to 4 by 3, it will come 4 by 3 minus 1, it will 1 by 3 root x square plus d square. Now we will equate this part difference equals to L lambda. So the last step we are going to do 1 by 3 root x square plus d square is equals to n lambda. Now you have to solve this equation, squaring both sides. You will get x square plus d square is equals to 9 n square lambda square. Now you can see x square will come 3 n lambda ka whole square minus d square. If you compare, we have given something, if you compare it with, this is x square plus d square, if you compare it with, you will get this is p actually, so p is equals to 3. This is your answer.